Oh, they will manage, I think, the transition quite well with the Gossi now established, playing in the German league. Flore also potentially changing and getting into more league action outside France. Injuries has been a case with Flore. Well, they've gone for some time, but it's been one of the more dominating talents in Europe lately. And it's good to see them here and good to see them getting playing time, which is the key for them.
Exactly. So is, by the way, in the French women's national team, Audrey Zarif, 15-year-old player whom we've seen earlier today. Also in action, was more or less a learning experience against Yu Mengyu of Singapore, but nonetheless playing in this big stage here. And we have him in the picture here on the far side of the screen, Panagiotis GIONIS. Shooting star with 34 years actually. His best years probably the last two. Emmanuel LEBESSON, 26 years old, world ranked 54 at the moment, left-handed player.
GIONIS is impressive, and it's going to be interesting to see him in the German league next year also. So what a strong player. And I met him in Vienna there when the Greek team we were staying at the same hotel. I was asking him how come, playing so well. Yeah, he had good practice in Greece. But imagine also playing every day against players who are quite good against the fans. So it means you have to work for your points in practice, and then of course playing in the French league system also for many years.
Exactly, just recently made the transfer to Borussia Düsseldorf in the German league. 34 years, as we see here, world rank 29 already. I didn't know he went that high recently. Obviously fantastic player, as you say, defensive. Has really made a jump up. Round of 32 at the Olympics 2012. He's a trained and educated dentist, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
I heard that he's quite a guy that can take care of himself in many ways. But he also fit. He looks very fit, and you see it must be draining to play as a defensive player here. And I saw some games yesterday, I believe, against Portugal. Fantastic matches, though, and what an entertaining player. We need more of GIONIS in men's table tennis for sure. Style, almost a hybrid defensive style, but although I've seen him be more defensively oriented lately.
Level.
LEBESSON with the first serve of this best-of-5 game, with a 1-0 lead for the French team.
But remember here also that the French would know him quite well. I mean, he's been around in the French league for many years and playing for various clubs, I think, in France also. So that means that these players would know him, and they would know and probably also been able to practice against him. So it's going to be interesting to see if LEBESSON is the guy who can solve GIONIS. Excellent service by GIONIS. Really not easy to see the spin at all, and LEBESSON just took a shot at it and made a mistake. That I would think is something that LEBESSON wants really to have those, to hook it deep to the backhand side. He's pretty good at those kind of shots, so I have a feeling that we will see that often.
Usually left-handers are, by the way. Cross shot with a bit of side spin on the forehand, as he was attempting here. Service warning issued to Panagiotis GIONIS.
4-4. No! 5-4.
And he's in the lead.
Fired up. LEBESSON taking command of this match. Quite impressive.
Third ball attack. Interesting serve though. Short serve, almost no spin. GIONIS tried to chop it, but it obviously went high from the Pimples rubber.
5-6.
In Dortmund 2012, we had this matchup here, Greece versus France. That day, Greece won 3-1 in the knockout stage.
Good service return, GIONIS finding the perfect angle on that backhand slice kind of thing.
Oh.
8-6.
Very impressive always, this forehand topspin of Panagiotis GIONIS.
And what a good read and good touch also on the return. Actually impressive.
9-6. Clever serve. But the business section of this first game. LEBESSON went in once again with that long push to the Pimples rubber and then stepping around. This time unsuccessful. That is 4 game points now.
So 11-6.
Oh wow.
Like this.
11-6.
Okay. Hold on the service. That's it.
Serve faulted for Emmanuel LEBESSON. That is one way to lose a game. 11-6 to Panagiotis GIONIS. First game to the Greek player.
Παίξε με λίγο. Παίξε λιγάκι έτσι πιο τέτοιο. Δεν χρειάζεται να το δείχνεις. Θα δώσεις εκεί που δίνεις κέντρο προσβευτών. Κέντρο προσβευτών. Μπράβο, και να παίξεις παράσα. Ή ανεβές θα κάνεις μεταφορά. Δεν είναι ανάγκη πολλά ελικόπτερ, τσίμπα την μπάλα. Καταλάβεις, παίξαμε.
Oui, mais déjà, mets-la sur la table déjà. Parce que là, je te dis, il y a eu 6 fautes sur le premier démarrage en mix. Hein, donc là, c'est normal. Allez, Manu. Allez. Cherchez. Celui-là, bien concentré dans la course.
Bravo, πρέπει. Αν το χέρι τώρα. Μια χαρά, έτσι θα τον πάρεις.
Second game, Greece to serve.
So we're back in the second game. Emmanuel LEBESSON to serve. He's, excuse me, that is actually GIONIS. He's won the first game.
1 love.
After LEBESSON was faulted on his serve. And I've been talking a lot, especially in the last years, about these service warning and service faults. And that can really throw a player off once that happens. Even when you're warned about the serve, because the serve is something the players have been practicing for years and years. This is not something you think about. And once you start thinking about, do I move the arm really out of the way? Do I toss it high enough? Sometimes the serve has not the good quality it needs to have. Or you're otherwise occupied with your mind thinking about the serve. And I've seen games change just because of a service warning. Look at it now, 3-1 to GIONIS. Not the best quality on the chop, to be honest. Bounced quite high. Look at this. And there's once again the tactics of Emmanuel LEBESSON. Not give GIONIS so much spin he can work with.
Almost all or nothing from LEBESSON a little bit. He wants a very quick start. Also, in his forehand is the way over the table surface, a little bit of a quick stroke. It's going to be hard to find the right distance to put that defense back. So, seems like he's kind of trying to a little bit use tempos in his advantage. And LEBESSON wants a 2-3 points rallies, not to go too far, obviously. A longer kind of rally, so but he will play that one well. Showed a lot of patience and found a good placement on the last one towards the middle. We saw GIONIS also get some treatment in between the games here from his coach and on the upper arm kind of thing. There was you get a lot of strains when playing now on the fourth day of competition.
But as you said, he's been on fire so far in this tournament.
You always liked his demeanor in the court, though. As always balanced, always, you know, the perfect defensive setup. So the hard thing in learning a young player to play defensive is also like you have to have a certain style of demeanor in the court to be able to take those, you know, to being outplayed as a defensive player. That's the toughest part with young players.
Exactly. If you look at him, he's always very calm and collected, but still there's this fire in his eyes, I would say, this cheeky attitude he has sometimes.
A little bit of luck. Signaled a little bit of luck, but was also very quick on that red. That placement on service perfect.
Interesting serve. But I have the feeling from Emmanuel LEBESSON, and maybe this is just me, but he doesn't seem to have a real game plan here. He's just thinking from rally to rally here.
No, I agree with you. I think he's just trying to score quick points all the time, and And the setup against the defense still has to be some kind of patience involved. So
9, 8.
he's been rushing a few shots here in the lead, also 8-6. In trouble there, I think, if he's losing this game. There's a timeout from...
I believe there was French coach Patrick Schiller. Well, not sure as well.
Smell fear here. Now 8-9, obviously. Not being very comfortable going 2-0 down in games. And maybe I agree with him.
Exactly, and this characteristic of these best-of-5 games is completely different compared to a best-of-7. Me, myself, I actually like best-of-5 because it's much more intense, and the first game obviously has a much bigger value. What do you prefer personally?
Hard to say, but I think that, of course, also team environment is different. Players have different responsibilities. Some players are very good in teams; they excel. Some are taking those leadership issues not so strong. So it's interesting, but of course the intensity goes up. I agree with you.
Being down 2-0, for example, that is in a best-of-5 very critical. In a best-of-7, you do have some time to catch up here. That is why the timeout was taken in this second game already. Very important point to Emmanuel LEBESSON. All French supporters on their feet.
I almost get a feeling they hold him back a little bit on his forehand topspins, GIONIS, somehow. I don't know if there's some nagging, small sense of injury or something like that, but interesting.
See, there you go again. There was again this push onto the backhand and then trying to score directly with the, well, that was the 5th touch for Emmanuel LEBESSON. But we can see that almost exclusively he's playing these forehand topspins, curved out cross-court to the backhand. Maybe you should try to switch it up once in a while to play down the line. GIONIS knows what to expect, and that is one of the reasons he scores here in this second game as well, 11-9. That is a comfortable 2-0 lead for the defender from Greece.
Απόξε μόνο άμυνα, αυτό με παίζει μόνο στο αριστερό. Άμυνα μπορώ μόνο στο
Παίξει μόνο αυτό, σέρβις και άμυνα.
Θα παίξει, τον βλέπω λίγο μαγκωμένο. Το θέμα είναι πώς θα παίξει μετά.
Και με τον άλλο θα παίξει μόνο άμυνα. Άμυνα πρέπει να το παίξει.
Ça peut t'aider, ça te fait le sort tout le temps. Si tu la tires trop comme un coupé, si tu vas plus vers le filet plus descendant, elle va plus plonger.
Allez,
Ok.
c'est bien en remise comme ça. Hein. C'est pas perdu le match, Manu. Hein. On va le chercher. Hein. Allez, c'est des services longs pour l'instant qui ne se battent pas. Hein.
Time.
On peut continuer. Et comme ça, le pioche comme ça, ligne droite, c'est pas mal aussi. Allez, Daniel,
Emmanuel LEBESSON back on the way to the center court. GIONIS taking his time. And if you were watching in the coaching break, you could see that not only Patrick Schiller is coaching Emmanuel LEBESSON, but also Adrien Matenet. And I'm not sure about that. I mean, coaching is difficult to begin with, as you surely know yourself. And I don't know the effect that two players talking to the coaching player during the break may have a negative effect as well. You may overload him with information.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of an agreement they have to have, and maybe they feel that they would allow that. Oh.
1-all.
But it's a little bit one-sided, and it's always been the case with LEBESSON that he has a special set of game plan that he can impose. Then he's quite dangerous. Or last few years, I would say his result hasn't been great. So, but the technique is limiting a little bit exactly that shot. He wants to go cross every time. And it's always been the case with him to be able to open down the line. So. A little bit what we talked about when he's going down to GIONIS backhand side all the time. It's because of his forehand technique also is not the greatest.
3-1.
What we haven't seen of him is moving GIONIS back to the table by short pushes or something. He's just always attacking all the time. I mean, it's not a bad shot. But it's very predictable in that way.
Exactly that one is what his problem is in this match. Trying to lean over and find that deep forehand angle on GIONIS, and that was his technique is really not comfortable enough. So he wants to go cross, hook it down all the time, and it's a question of course he can be very effective in that situation. But the advantage GIONIS for sure so far, especially the second game where LEBESSON had his chances.
Here we go.
4-3.
I mean, I agree with you. Panagiotis GIONIS, he seems to be a bit injured. At least we could say that he's not playing freely, not playing 100% here on the chops as well. He's just chopping from the lower arm. Not much movement involved there, but still seems to be enough to beat Emmanuel LEBESSON.
He's coming with his no spin strokes or chops that causing so much problem for LEBESSON. The higher ones, exactly those where you can see that there's almost no spin, but he cannot adjust his technique. So makes unbelievable many mistakes on exactly that shot.
That's right. That's why it's 2-0, 5-3 now. Look at GIONIS, he's really not that involved here. He's letting Emmanuel LEBESSON fight himself in this match. He's just content in watching. We can see that there's definitely an issue with his forehand, GIONIS. Always pulling it up, never really swinging through the wall. That was well done. Crafted with the backhand this time. Opening up cross court into the forehand and then swinging this hook shot again down the line. He's in the lead by 1 point.
5-6.
Wow.
6.
So much backspin on the chop.
Of course, it takes away a great weapon off the service for GIONIS also. You would know that, okay, he wants to play this one safe. So at the same time, it can be difficult also to play against a player like that. You don't know what's going to happen. So, a little bit of a mental challenge.
6-7.
Point that normally LEBESSON has to read that one and be in position. Now he was kind of wobbling around. Not the greatest control over his technique. Yeah.
7-0. Last straw for Emmanuel LEBESSON. He has to score this game here to at least keep himself in the match. Never mind scoring, we think about that later. That seemed easy.
8.
LEBESSON sitting on the floor for a while. Footwork is another issue. Upper body stability would be the third one. Eitor, who's going to take this?
Not comfortable at all with his forehand for the moment, and it's been very many unforced errors here, and it's going to cost him if he's not, finding the rhythm now very quickly.
And it's match point to Panagiotis GIONIS. Not playing his best here, probably due to an injury of his arm. Still firmly in control of the match. I have no doubt that he will be closing this down here within the next 2 points to equalize to 1 game each between Greece and France. And there it is, first time of asking. Almost seemed easy for Panagiotis GIONIS. 3-0, 11-6, 11-9, 11-8. And we'll have 1-1 between France and Greece now. Waiting for game number 3 to start up in a few short moments.